Hi, everyone. Did you know that since the beginning of human history, humans have been creating artwork that's related to nature? Would you be able to think of at least one piece of artwork that involves nature? My name's Regina, and today we're going to be exploring how people have felt about nature throughout history by looking at the artwork that they've created. Then, we'll even get a chance for you all to create your own artwork related to all of the different types of art that we'll be talking about today. Have you ever seen a photo of this artwork before? Before I tell you who made it or how old it is, I'd like you to think about how it makes you feel when you're looking at it. Throughout the course of this lesson, we're going to be talking a lot about how looking at a piece of artwork might make the person that's looking at it feel. So, we'll start by practicing with this piece. Why do you think the people that created this image had so many animals in the artwork? What do you think this had to do with their lives? This painting was discovered in the 1940s by a group of boys in a cave in France. However, it's a lot older than just 60 to 70 years ago. They believe that this cave painting is over 17,000 years old. This group that lived in the area had a hunter gatherer lifestyle. They were constantly on the move to follow the animals that they were hunting in this area of what's now France. They believe that what we've been shown is a hunting party in this cave painting. Hunting parties were crucial for the people during this day and age so that they could survive in the harsh landscape in such a long time ago. Because of the importance of hunting and gathering, it really mattered that the people that created this cave painting were able to reflect accurately the different animals that they were trying to hunt. So, this part of nature, I think, is more of a practical application of showing what we think nature is. The people during this time weren't so interested in sharing their feelings so much as sharing information through the artwork that they created and in the different ways that they connected with nature. In order to create your own artwork, take a piece of paper and draw it into 4 different sections and label this one cave painting. Then find some different materials and then draw, paint, color, whatever you'd like, what you think your own cave painting would be if you were trying to depict how you interacted with nature on a day-to-day basis. We'll be using this sheet of paper for all the rest of our different art activities throughout this lesson, so make sure you hold on to it. Also, you can use bigger sheets of paper if you'd like. Don't worry about it if you think this is too small of a space. For our next section, we're going to be going ahead in time quite a ways. So, to start out, I'd like you all to imagine that you are one of the first explorers from Europe out in the American West. The spaces are wild, seemingly untouched by man in a way that most people from the East Coast have never experienced before. This is an entirely new way that people are connecting with nature, finding spaces that are unique and wild. How would you get people to care about a place that they've never even seen? The artist Thomas Moran was given this difficult job in the year 1871 by the US government. He was asked to go with a group to go to a strange land that was reported to be filled with geysers and cliffs and to document it through his artwork. This piece that he made is called the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone, and it's one of the biggest reasons that we have Yellowstone National Park today. When he brought it back to the people in the East Coast, it connected so well to them, showing them a beautiful land filled with awe inspiring views that were expertly captured in this artwork. Lots of artists during this time were trying to capture things through very talented and detailed but beautiful pieces of artwork. For our next drawing activity, I'd like you all to take out that sheet of paper we did earlier and in the next box write American West. Then grab any materials that you'd like and you can draw whatever you think deserves to be protected in nature, something that you care about, maybe even something you see every day. Feel free to take your time and pause the recording once you think you're ready to keep going. For the last art style that we're going to be talking about today, it's going to be involving a little less realism than what we were seeing in those paintings involving the American West. Before I talk more about it, I'm just going to show you all some of the pieces, and I'd like you to think about how you feel they show nature. Feel free to go back and write down what you think these artists thought about nature when they were making these pieces. All of these types of work are called Impressionism. Impressionism began in the 1880s by an artist called Claude Monet. You might have noticed how all the pieces aren't as focused as looking exactly like nature. Instead, they're almost a bit lighter, not as realistic. How do you think this compares to the other artwork that we've covered so far? One thing to keep in mind is that we never know for sure what an artist was thinking when they created a piece, because everyone has their own interpretations or judgments of what they might mean. Impressionist artwork can be filled with many different interpretations of how artists felt about nature or whatever they're painting. Keep that in mind whenever you're looking at artwork in the future. Interpretations are a personal judgment, and it's really difficult to decide what's true and what's not true. For this activity, I'd like you all to use your third box and write Impressionism in the bottom of it. For this activity, you'll get to be able to use your creativity and draw nature in a different way than what it might actually look like. You can use all different sorts of fun colors and get creative. You can even add people to it if you'd like. That's what Impressionism is about, is getting creative and trying to draw something in a different way than what it actually looks like. Feel free to use whatever materials you'd like and pause this activity until you're ready to get going to the next step. Now that we've covered all of these different types of how art and nature have been connected through time, let's move on to our last activity where you get to be the person that creates the styles of how art and nature are made. The last drawing activity that we have today are your own interpretations of what art is and how it relates you to nature. This is a really open box. You can use all different sorts of materials that you'd like, and you can draw anything that you think really connected with you throughout this lesson. If you need inspiration, go outside, look high and low, and try to find something that you think inspires you in nature. It's okay to not know what to draw. Just take a look around, maybe even outside your own window, and I'm sure you'll find something that'll speak to you. You can use paint, you can use colored pencils, you can even just use a black and white graphite pencil if that's what you think works best. Feel free to do whatever speaks to you on whatever size paper and whatever materials that you have. Pause the video and then keep going once you've finished this last final box of your own interpretations. We've talked a lot today about how all of these different ways that artists have connected with nature throughout time. But why do you think it even matters that we connect with nature at all? What is connecting with nature done for us? I'd like you all to look at your sheet and go through each of the four boxes and think about how that type of artwork helped people during the time it was made. Look at the cave paintings and how they helped hunter gatherers with sharing information about survival with other people. Next, look at how the American West artwork helped save Yellowstone and found the National Park Service, making people care about the wilderness that they'd never even seen in person. The Impressionist period helped people express nature in new, unique ways through their own creative and personal interpretations. Finally, the box that you all made helped show how even today we need people to understand their connections to nature to help them build and care enough to protect nature. The better you understand and connect with something, the stronger that you feel about it. I'd like to end this lesson to thank you all for coming along with me today and discovering how art and nature have been connected throughout time. I hope that in the future, you all still would like to make your own artwork in whatever way you'd like so you can continue to express yourselves just as the people in the past have too.